welcome to the 2016 ARICA Chilean Challenge. My name is Manny Vargas. Right behind me is one of the most dangerous, but one of the most consistent waves on the APB World Bodyboarding Tour. The best bodyboarders in the world converged here in the northern parts of Chile to go to battle. Now, let's take a look at what went down.
In surf circles, the wave is called El Gringo, and it crashes onto a shallow rock ledge that skirts an island off Arica, Chile's northernmost city. The city has about 250,000 people, and the island, which has long since been connected by a man-made bridge, always gets packed for this incredible event. The rock walls create a natural viewing platform, and the overspill inhabits the specially erected grandstands. They come to see a gladiatorial battle where the specter of death looms large. The water is freezing here, so everyone's dressed in a thick layer of surfing's own armor. But what separates El Gringo from countless other perfectly sculpted reef breaks around the world is the size and consistency of the swells that batter this coastline. It's almost always big, and the perfectly dry climate generates consistent offshore winds in the morning. Round 1 began in perfect 6-foot conditions, and the big guns excelled.
Mike Stewart.
It's a nice barrel.
God.
Round 1 is a non-elimination round that features 3-man heats. The winner progresses straight to round 3, while second and third must contend with round 2 and the prospect of an early flight home.
Oh, he's going fast. What is he going to do?
A nice, huge invert.
Oh my goodness.
Current world champion Jared Houston launched as an early contender for best air. He beat Mike Stewart and Eric Gomez.
Against Mike, and he's so good out here, you know, so I just wanted to just try and pick up where I left off last year, you know, I had such a good time last year, and I just, you know, decided to just put everything on the table. So for this heat, I just decided to just go out there and do the same thing, and it paid off. So I think I'm just going to keep going with the same strategy.
So you will say that's your strategy now, just repeat whatever you did last year?
Yeah, for sure. It worked last year, so I reckon I'll just try and do it again.
The biggest heat of the first round featured 2 Brazilian heavyweights, in Eder Luciano and former world champion Uri Valadao, who took control of the heat with a huge air forward.
Oh my gosh, hold your breath. Oh my goodness. One of the most difficult maneuvers you can do.
He then sealed progression when he exited a clean left-hand barrel.
He's deep. He's getting shacked, Manny, and he comes out. He has a little look at the judge tower.
A big ARS off the left-hand section wasn't enough to get Chilean Alan Munoz a heat win in his home event.
You can see he's just trying to eye it out and very sick from Alan.
Likewise for Kevin Orihuela, who couldn't back up the score after this explosive flip.
With a beautiful backflip.
Both he and Tanner McDaniel were sent to round 2. But former world champion Jeff Hubbard experienced no such problems as he breezed through round 1 with his trademark aerial assault.
Hold your breath. Oh, Hubbard goes skyward.
That was quickly overshadowed by Pierre-Louis Costes, who locked in a 10-point ride with a towering air forward.
Oh my goodness.
Like
oh
that.
my gosh.
Wow.
He then secured his backup score with a full rotation air reverse to complete the win. Round 1 continued the next morning, and the first heat brought an upset in the form of Ayram Cabrera, a Chilean trialist.
Slabbing left-hander gets a great barrel.
He upstaged the World Tour's elite when he won his first round heat. The waves continued to pump throughout round 1, and the world's best bodyboarders made the heavy rock shelf conditions look playful. South African Ian Campbell exerted control in his heat through a deep barrel in the first minute, before he threw down a pair of lofty aerials for an unbeatable lead.
Little left-hander, and he flies up into the air. Huge backflip.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty happy to get the first wave of the heat. It's pretty tough out there, kind of slow, and then I looked at the right and it kind of looked all right, so I thought why not, and got like a pretty cool barrel and came out, got an 8, and then the last wave I just went full broke and kind of worked out. I'm pretty stoked, like all my equipment and everything's working so good.
The remaining heats of the first round saw wins for local riders.
Maybe looking for a big section. Huge air forward. Lands on the top.
While the previous event winner, Alex Uranga, would have to face round 2. As well as switching to 2-man heats, round 2 also brought the introduction of elimination.
Hitting the brakes, doing everything he can to slow down, to get into that barrel. Comes out with a nice big roll.
Mike Stewart used his wealth of experience to expertly thread the left-hand barrel. He jockeyed on the foam ball to extend his ride and milk maximum points.
It's Mike Stewart getting a nice cover up there.
The favorable winds continued as the swell increased to provide cover-worthy waves. Eder Luciano dominated round 2 with a perfect combination, opening with a wide-open barrel before he launched high for his second score.
Eder Luciano, who has a 9, is going to improve his situation if he lands that.
ARICA's perfection and the skill of the world's best betray the serious consequences for false steps.
It looks like we got Tanner McDaniel once again live action. Oh my goodness! Good morning, ARICA.
Up and riding, Dave Hubbard. He's looking for a big flipper. Let's see what he can do. Nice backflip. That was amazing. He spun it around the other way. Dave's looking at this way.
He knows that he can go for a big move like that.
Wow. This last heat's Alex Uranga. He won the last event in Brazil. He's on fire. He's looking so focused, Manny. It's smaller. It's still punchy. It's still better than most places. Look, we'll see Alex Uranga do air reverse here for the boys. See?
Oh my
He's
goodness.
on fire. He's really focused. Look at Alex just dominating the heat. Just beautiful surfing by Alex Uranga.
Swell kicked up another notch when round 3 started the next day. Omri Laverne was all about technical tweaks and rail adjustments inside the barrel.
Nice little cover up. He's stalling to stay in there. Now he goes up for a nice roll. And we have Moz up and riding. Spin in the pocket. Now he's trying to sit there in the barrel.
A huge upset occurred in the next heat when current world champion Jared Houston was beaten by the local Chilean trialist Marcelo Foundas.
Jared Houston looking for a big score. He comes up and around.
Oh my goodness.
A nice flip here.
The defeat also ended Houston's chances at a world title defense.
We got some sets rolling in out the back.
Finds a nice roll. Here's Marcelo Fondes and just throws an air. And that was straight up sick. Big points coming in. It is Marcelo Fondes moving on into round number 4.
Dudu Pedra then beat Sergio Luis in an all-Brazilian heat.
Huge roll. A nice left-hander for Dudu Pedra. Gets a quick barrel ride.
Countryman Eder Luciano found success on the rights to seal progression to round 4.
Right hand wave shaping up for Eder Luciano. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Antonio Cardoso tweaked an invert on the right, then won the heat on the back of a high-scoring left, which featured a clean barrel and a giant boost out into the flats.
Taking a look on this left, nice clean bottom turn, tons of speed. Lands a little bit high on the wave, but still clean.
Tanner McDaniel had an absolute blast as he propelled his way to heat victory. His highlight reel had it all: flips, spins, barrels, and a monster jam.
So Tanner McDaniel exploring the potential of the left-handers, and he's scored very well. A 9, a 6, and now a 7.5.
Whoa! Big backflip.
Yeah, the waves are so fun right now, and luckily I was being kind of patient at the start, and luckily just a couple good waves came through and I was on them, so I was stoked, yeah. I don't know, just keep having fun, keep trying to be on the best waves, and just surf how I want to surf.
In the next heat, Jeff Hubbard used his rail more than his air game to navigate some hefty barrels and earn himself a ticket to round 4 by beating another of the Chilean trialists.
Is up and riding on this left, and he gets a super deep barrel, and he escapes of it. Jeff Hubbard's up and riding now on this one, and he's eyed out that section for a nice flip.
Pierre-Louis Costas then combined the sublime with the spectacular, mixing slow turning.
PLC out the back. Here he is on the inside. He's gonna back it up with a big flip.
PLC coming around the section with a ton of speed. Wow, that was incredible. And he's able to pull that off.
He would be joined in round 4 by Christian Fernandez, Dino Carmo, and Ian Campbell.
Out the back, Dino.
In the ball there, straight in the pocket.
And he's feeling it.
Ian on the left. Not too big of a wave, but quite a nice barrel. Comes out, nice controlled carve.
The rest of round 3 ran the following morning, where another South African, Tristan Roberts, recorded a win.
Gets a beautiful flip.
He upset Brazilian Uri Valadao.
Gets a flip, lands on the top of the wave. He knows that's not going to be a big score.
Mike Stewart and Dave Hubbard then made it back-to-back wins for the Hawaiians.
Michael Stewart, Godfather Bodyboard, nice barrel, getting pitted, high line right there. Let's see what he's got here. He's going to do something, a little clean vert. Wow, nice bottom turn, beautiful line. What's he gonna do? Big ramp, nice ARS for the 52-year-old. Dave, on the other hand, out the back with priority. Looking at this one, he's behind the warble. He's tucking in for a nice barrel, clean exit, spit out.
Before Alex Uranga closed out the round with a win against Airam Cabrera.
Oh, here we go. First wave of that hit. A huge IRS. That was a really nice looking wave. It was a nice barrel.
Round 4 opened up with another dominant performance from Amory Laverne.
And here's Amory Laverne on a nice wave. With a nice barrel on the right hander. And he goes for it for another little move with a nice invert. Amory using his priority on a nice looking left. Tons of speed, and he's going for a big move, as I said. And boom, a nice backflip. Oh, here we have Amory Laverne using his priority. That wave is looking good. That has that nice wedge that we were looking for, and he goes for a barrel, comes out with an RS.
He was joined in the finals by Eddie Luciano, who set up a victory with a long left that he exited with a smooth roll.
Gets his body up and over for that roll. Beautiful cylindrical rollo after that nice tube ride.
And Antonio Cardoso, who defeated Sebastian Kraft. In an all-Hawaiian round 4 matchup, Jeff Hubbard flared his way to victory over Tanner McDaniel.
Jeff Hubbard up and riding on this insider. He finds a cover up. It's a nice long tube and throws the flip to finish. Good help. Jeff Hubbard with a huge flip and does well to hang on to it. And wow, we see him cutting out right on the corner of that keyhole, dangerously shallow.
He would be joined in the next round by Pierre-Louis Costas, who opened up with a solid barrel before he threaded a long tube and launched a smooth forward off the end.
Here we see Pierre up and riding on a little inside one.
Oh my goodness.
Huge air forward.
Ian Campbell then booked himself a place into the finals on the back of some exquisite barrel riding.
Ian pulling into a deep barrel. Oh!
So he did well to make it through that final section, Louis. We were seeing him, and we could see him through the lip, actually, traversing through that long barrel section. And I was already impressed when he came out where he did.
Tristan Roberts then made it back-to-back wins for the South Africans.
Perfectly executed air reverse. A little bit of bump, goes for a backflip on the last part of that right-hand wave.
Then we see Tristan taking off inside the barrel, nice and deep. Comes out with a huge backflip.
Or David Hubbard knocked out the last event winner, Alex Uranga.
Big ARS, that was giant.
So massive maneuver right there from our man David Hubbard, who went for a big air.
His victory sealed by a hanging tweak reverse off the right-hander.
David Hubbard on a big right to see if he can do anything on this huge section. He's gonna have to land.
Oh my God!
Wow! Oh my God! That was huge. That was huge. That was gonna be the wave of the day.
The quarterfinals kicked off the last day of the 2016 ARICA Chilean Challenge, and in Heat 1, Eder Luciano couldn't match the technical stylings of Omri Laverne, who threaded long barrels and feasted on the end section. Omri put his opponent in combination position about halfway through the heat with a 9-point ride.
Maz out the back, he's got a barrel, and he puts a nice flip on the end.
Oh my goodness.
A terrific finale there.
Jeff Hubbard would be his rival in the semis after he accounted for Antonio Cardoso in the next quarter.
Out the back, Jeff Hubbard, he wants a look.
Here he is, multiple world champion, dropping in on this one. Ton of speed, going for a big maneuver right there. Nice clean flip from Jeff Hubbard. Jeff Hubbard catches this wave. Oh my, big backflip right there from Jeff Hubbard on that right-hander. Here he is on this left, coming around the bottom. Nice clean ARS, lands perfectly in the pocket.
In the smaller conditions, riders were forced to milk barrel time and add aerial finishes to land the big numbers. The third quarter brought an upset as the seemingly unstoppable Pierre-Louis Costes was eliminated by Ian Campbell.
Yeah, PLC is opting to go right in this, so he's looking for a pretty big score. He's cruising down the line. He's going to do a really nice clean backflip. You know, he's just so controlled doing those. He does them in his sleep.
His opening score featured a barrel to backflip on the left before his floated air reverse proved the difference.
Oh.
Yeah, wow. So great job there from Ian. He serves an awesome heat.
Tristan Roberts then beat Dave Hubbard to create an all-South African semifinal.
Tristan Roberts up on the right. It's definitely his strong point. He's going to go with a big, clean backflip. That's definitely the best backflip we've seen today. Here's Tristan up again on another right hand. He's going to do something pretty big here, I dare say. Throws a nice air reverse.
In the first semifinal, Jeff Hubbard led through a perfect combination of left and right hand barrel to flip combinations.
Got Hub taken off on a nice little left.
Oh my goodness. Jeff Hubbard with
That's a
another
bit
big
better.
move.
With 30 seconds to go, Omri Laverne needed a high score on his last wave.
9.5, that's what he needs. And look at this out the back. How did he do it?
The buzzer goes.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God, Manny! Manny B!
In the next semi, Tristan Roberts' fairy tale run from nowhere finally came to an end when he was beaten by Ian Campbell.
See what he does with this one. And,
Oh my, nice backflip
very
right
nice
there.
backflip.
But Campbell dominated with variety and perfect execution to book a place into his first APB World Tour final.
More action.
Yeah.
That was a perfect ridden wave right there for Ian Campbell.
Dare say that'll get into the excellent range, that score. Here's Ian up and riding on a really nice looking wave.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Omri Laverne looked dominant throughout the entire event and entered the final as an overwhelming favorite against the inexperienced Campbell from South Africa. The final was an open affair in which both riders had opportunities.
And we do have Moz up and riding. Smooth entry into this one. Very smooth flip. Here we see Moz behind. He wants to be a part of this exchange, and he gets up and out for a nice flip.
Turning around, taking a look at this right-hander with priority. It is Ian Campbell who decides to take off and comes around the section with a big backflip of his own. He's not caring about how shallow it is.
Ian Campbell tucking in under
Oh
on this
my.
left-hander. Sitting in the barrel, and there he goes for that huge flip maneuver to complete it. Ian Campbell, he's deep on this
Oh my.
left. He's getting a shock of a lifetime. He came out. Ian Campbell wins his first ever World Tour event, and he is your 2016 ARICA Chilean Challenge champion.
Wow.
Going into the final day was pretty tough for me. I knew I had some hard competition going up against Pierre in the quarterfinals, and just going into that heat, I just thought to myself that I could just do what I could and get the scores that I needed. I was lucky to get some good scores, scoring an 8 for a reverse, and then I got another little good left, and that gave me the scores that I needed. Then it was Tristan in the semi-final, and knowing Tristan from South Africa, I knew where he was going to ride and how he was going to go. So heading up against him was pretty tough, knowing that I needed to go all out. And then as we were leaving to get out into our semi-heat, we saw Moz do pretty crazy reverse, and yeah, I was definitely nervous going into the final with Moz because I know how consistent he is and how well he rides. So yeah, for me, Moz was definitely the biggest competition, especially as it was in the final. So going in there, I just knew I needed to do what I do best and just kind of ride the same way I'd been riding throughout the competition, and I was lucky enough to get the win at the end. Having ARICA as my first win on tour was pretty unbelievable. I've always wanted to win that event, and for me to get through all those heats and have that road to the final was pretty exhilarating for me. At the end of the heat, it was like a moment of disbelief when the Puda went and I realized that I'd actually won my first World Tour event. It still to this day gives me shivers like throughout my body. Getting back to the rocks and having some of my best friends and competition all there hugging me, and just that moment right there will stick with me forever.